It's back o'clock.
Is it back o'clock?
It is.
Already?
Hello. We're here with our Ralts family only.
Yeah.
For you guys that are just checking in for the first time, Nathan's on the call with us, and Nathan
Hello.
got me the
Yeah.
greatest birthday present: 2 shiny Raltses. And so I am running through all of Pokemon Scarlet with just them.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I am going to do it. Before I go to the Psychic Gym, I do want to check my moves. Okay, I do have Night Slash. I do have Shadow Ball. Okay, I think we're ready.
And I'm putting a prediction up. Hello, Bradley.
We don't actually fight Nemona again until just before the Elite Four, right?
I don't remember.
Oh. It looks
Think
like
you may
we
be
do
fighting her
fight
now.
Nemona right now.
I was
Last
going to
time
say,
we
6 sounds about right.
last time we fought Nemona, I lost.
She did kind of use that cat to whoop your ass.
Uh-oh.
Is your chat broken?
Yeah, just a second. I'm going to fix it. Where are we at? Let's move that to 600. Okay. Let's try 580. There we go. That's a lot better.
Don't we all, Browley? Thankfully, Pokemon has an app for that now.
Yeah, I haven't tried it out yet.
I do not have the space on my phone for it. I think you can handle it, Rusty. I believe in you. $10 on Nemona. I mean, what? Huh?
We thought about doing a sleep stream because it would be very funny if Ian did it.
The only sleep stream that has like a noise indication warning. I hear the rumblings of the damned.
Sligoo.
Sligoo.
I think I can beat everybody on her team no problem except for that damn cat. I don't know what to do about that cat.
I'm a kitty cat. Oh, you're using a fairy to beat a dragon. I understand.
Yeah. Needed context. Like, you know about Pokemon Sleep, right?
It's a game where you go to sleep. I guess. I don't know. I haven't played it. So, the idea behind this game is like Nemona's kind of taking you under her wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is she letting you get away with using 2 psychic types? And nothing else?
I don't know, man. She's losing her
Dark type. It is going to be pure grass. And that flower trick hit like a truck. But you outsped. Impressive.
Maybe she won't use flower. Oh.
I do like Nemona's theme. I like the champion version best, but...
This is where I would use Shadow Sneak. If I had one!
You can technically get Shadow Sneak onto it.
Oh, I know I can, but I need another Gallade that knows it.
You need another Pokemon.
Another Pokemon that knows it. What's best here? The most accurate move is what's best here. They're all the same. Yeah, I'm dead. I cannot beat Nemona. I have to get lucky with a crit on Dazzling Gleam.
I mean, you can do a kind of like a trickier strategy, like employing a Focus Sash or something.
Yeah. I bet I could also like use an X defense at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. The other thing is if you had used Mystical Fire instead of Dazzling Gleam with Gardevoir, maybe you one-shot it.
I don't think I would. Oh, Mystical Fire always has more damage than I think it does.
They buffed it, yeah.
75 versus...
Psychic should be around.
Can I check the moves? 80, 90, 75 to 90. They should be about the same, huh?
I think Mystical Fire does beat it out slightly. With super effects. The other thing is, do you have your moves set up in such a way that you want to take on Tulip?
That's what I checked before I went into this fight.
Not remembering that you're going to fight Nemona?
No, yeah, remember when I went in to talk to the thing, and
Yeah.
I was like, we don't fight Nemona again, right? And Nemona was like...
Hey, fight me! Badge 6 sounds about right. I think it's every 2 badges.
Yeah.
So, Rusty, how good are you at Simon?
Who is Simon?
Kate
kidding.
has redeemed random sports fact on a day we don't have Ian.
We don't have Ian today. For that reason...
I know a random sports fact.
Okay.
In Pokemon the first movie, Ash mentions when they're being transported by a disguised Team Rocket, they've disguised themselves as Vikings. And Brock goes, I didn't think Vikings existed anymore. And Ash goes, they mostly live in Minnesota, as a reference to the Minnesota Viking.
It's very funny.
Also, people are completely evenly split. One thinks you're going to do great in this gym battle, the other thinks you're going to do awful.
I wonder who's who. My Gallade is going to dance.
Hey. Rusty, you're not looking very surprised.
There we go.
Rusty, you're not looking very angry.
I got it. Figured it out.
No, your character in the video game is looking angry.
Oh.
Give me that Pogger YouTube face, Rusty. You're my little Pog champ, Rusty.
I gotta keep moving for this one.
You do.
Chat, I will not be doing
that. So, fun fact about this little segment. The gym trainers, if their Pokemon can have multiple abilities, it's random which one they have. Which actually causes variance in the speed run because, spoiler, you will be fighting a member of the Ralts line, and they can have Trace, which procs before the battle and makes a variation. There it is, Curlia.
Yep. Just trying to decide which counter to use. I'm at the right level.
So in this speed run, you want to get as many or as few inputs right in this Simon section while still passing, because each input you do causes lag. And you have to get like 4 right or something.
Oh, do you do multiple inputs like now?
You can. I don't think it gets you anything.
Okay. You heading to bed, Bradley?
Adios, Bradley.
So what is it? You just get as many as you need correct and then stop doing inputs?
Yes, that's essentially the idea. And I forget exactly what the number is, but I think it's like 5 or like 4 or something like that. It is very hard to fail these.
Yeah. It's so easy that I messed up on the practice because I assumed it was more difficult, more complicated than it should have been.
Yep.
My first 2 inputs were
bad. Same with the slidey one for the ice gym, where it's just like you can miss like a third of them and still pass.
This guy's gonna grow strong. You know how you fight things that are strong? It's your freaking brain,
one,
man. Psychic moves. Also, I am going to hit this one with a dark move. I'm probably gonna.
In all likelihood, you will.
Statistically, I'm likely to hit the crit.
I think it's a 50-50 shot. I think anything over 50-50 is enough. This man is going to be mourning his decapitated Indeedee.
Medicam A.
Watch out, Rusty. It's psychic fighting. Do you think your, like, Gardevoir kind of snarkily looks over to your Gallade and is like, yeah, I could kick your ass?
Definitely.
So, Dendra is essentially this universe's version of a gym teacher, right?
Of a what?
Gym teacher.
Okay, yes.
Like she's a PE teacher.
Right. You gotta be careful when you say gym in the Pokemon games.
But like a physical education teacher.
Yes.
She's a PE teacher.
Yes.
Tulip owns like a multi-million-dollar cosmetics company.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they know each other?
From work. I thought they were like childhood best friends.
Look.
Chat, I was restoring...
You are correct, Rusty. She is a childhood friend of Tulip.
What is the last ability for Koraidon? What am I missing?
The last what?
Ability.
The ability to climb.
Right, okay, got it.
Because you still haven't beaten the fish.
Yeah. No, I knew I hadn't beaten the fish. I was wondering what ability I was missing.
Yep. No, Cloth gives you fast run. Bombardier gives you swim. The Quaking Earth Titan gives you high jump. Oh no, he gives you glide. And then high jump you get from Orthworm. And then the fish gives you climb. It's a giraffe.
I made that joke about the new Raikou clone. And by made that joke, I mean I saw somebody else making that joke and posted it in the Discord, which you can see. Go to the Discord.
Good job, Rusty. Well plugged. Or if you're watching the YouTube VOD, you can go check it out in the description.
You think my Gardevoir is going to outspeed her Gardevoir?
I don't think that, Rusty. I know it.
Considering she hasn't EV trained it or anything, and it's 4 levels below me.
They may have effort now. Sometimes they give them to gym leaders. Usually it's like 40 or something like that. She's late enough in the game, hers might have effort.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee that those effort values were put into speed.
I am surprised I did not one-shot.
Gardevoir has very high special defense.
I know she's especially bulky, but I'm a little surprised. She's also especially offensive, and I out-level. Espathra, pure psychic, right?
Pure Psychic. If I remember correctly, Mega Gardevoir has the highest special defense of all Mega Pokemon.
Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know it was that special defensive.
Very tanky.
Okay.
And Gallade and Gardevoir have the same BST and same stat distribution. It's just attack is swapped with special attack.
Right.
Gallade is also...
Same, it has the same special D?
Yeah, yep, same special D. So the stats are exactly the same with the attack and special attack swap.
All right.
Which is why I've been kind of surprised that Gardevoir has been consistently outspeeding it. Because theoretically, they should be around the same.
It's possible. I did not have enough money to buy all the vitamins I needed, and I bought a bunch for speed for the leftover ones.
Yeah.
It's possible I gave like 4 or 5 to Gardevoir and not to Gallade.
Yeah.
When they were both Raltses. Florges is a fairy.
But it's not going to stay that way.
You right.
But it is a fairy type, which means it hits offensively like a fairy type.
Yeah. But it's not particularly fast.
No, it's relatively slow.
I outspeed the terrestrialization.
Good luck with that.
Lose the fight to
I've always kind of thought of Florges as a poor man's Sylveon.
yeah. Never not be kidding.
Rusty, he's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, that's why he does this sick battle cry at the end of every. Whoa! All right, who voted against me?
20 coins go to Browley.
Cage, you son of a bitch.
Hey, look, you got Psychic. You could teach that to your Gallade.
I could. I thought about teaching Gallade Psychic at like level 20 and then going to a picnic to get Gardevoir Psychic early. That would
They only transfer if they're in the egg move list. And Psychic is not in the egg move list.
Gotcha.
Now, if both parents know the move and the move is in the level up list, it would have hatched with Psychic.
Right, okay. But you can't tutor moves. You can't.
You can only pass. Moves. Yeah, you can only pass egg moves.
Yeah.
And sometimes level up moves are listed as egg moves for that reason, to allow you to do that, but it's kind of few and far between.
Ralts hatching with Psychic would be very powerful.
I said it's possible, as long as it's in the level up move list, and I'm sure it is. Sometimes I do that when I'm breeding you your teams for your monotype runs.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, stick around even after this show is done. If nothing else happens, we'll be moving into my mono grass run, I think is what we're doing next.
Are we doing that one next? I was going to offer D.
You were gonna what?
I was going to offer it to Ian.
I'm not saying definitely next.
That's what Rusty's do.
It's what I'm doing next. I've been asking you guys if you had something, and nobody's really spoken up. But if Ian's got something, then it is Ian's turn.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Are there trainers up here?
I'm sure there are.
I get some XP.
What is your next destination?
I'm gonna go fight Grusha, and then I'm gonna get that dragon.
Grusha.
Go fish. Oh, go fishy fish. There are not trainers up here.
There's Espafra here. And a sheepy. Little sheepy. Hey, look, a trainer.
Show me all your fighting types.
He's just OSHA compliant, Rusty. Rocking that high-vis vest. And a hard hat. He's staying away from an edge. He's probably up here to install a safety handrail.
God, I just keep critting.
Oh, hell yeah. In the name of the moon, I will punish you.
I have a new most powerful move.
Send out Lux Ring.
Should be dark.
So that you could, in the name of the moon, punish it?
Also, because it looks like a dark type. So what are we predicting the new Terra type that's been kind of teased? What is it going to do?
I don't know. People kind of pointed out that it kind of looks like a series of Z crystals.
So you think it's going to unlock Z moves?
No, just like that's the tree that people seem to be barking up. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. The other thing that I've kind of seen speculated is that it's going to be similar mechanic to like the Legend plate from Legends Arceus, where it just like it auto changes type to be the most advantageous in the situation.
I saw at least one person predicting that this is them like previewing a new type that's going to be available, like a whole new type, like Dark and Fairy were and Steel.
Yeah.
That's going to happen mid-generation.
That would annoy me.
Yeah. I don't see that being very likely. Giga Impact is interesting.
I can't think of many situations where it would be your optimal choice. Like in a lot of instances, a not very effective but stab and critting Psycho Cut is going to outdamage.
Yeah. Unless I'm going up against...
Like, they would have to 4x resist.
Yeah. Gallade has 4 move slot syndrome already. I was just thinking giving him stab on it with a Terra change. It's not sharp, is it?
No, Gigi effect.
Because a lot of moves are sharp.
You need me to look up the sharp list for you, Rusty?
A lot of weird moves are sharp. I think I would have already figured it out. I've looked at the sharp list before. Where am I going? South, southeast.
So the sharp moves that Gallade gets: Aerial Ace, Air Slash, Aqua Cutter, Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade, Night Slash, Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword, Slash, X.
Sacred Sword slash what?
X Scissor. Sorry, Cross Scissor.
Well, that's why I missed it. It's because you said it wrong. I wasn't trying to be a little like, what? You know? I wasn't trying to do that. The sharpness buff makes the decision between accurate Psycho Cut and damaging Zen Headbutt very easy.
Yeah, there's no, if you've got sharpness, there's no reason to opt for anything but Psycho Cut as your primary stab.
Yeah.
The moves that are sharp but aren't learned by anything with the ability Sharpness are Behemoth Blade, Bitter Blade, Cross Poison, Cut, Kowtow Cleave, Population Bomb, Side Blade, Razor Leaf, and so on. Aw, look at that cute little Ralts family. And they were all shiny because they were the wrong color.
Nathan.
What?
I have to go back and catch them.
Hey, this guy's got 3 gym badges.
And he failed the interview at the Pokemon League.
I think I also did that. So the reason Population Bomb is a sharp move is because the way it's in Japanese, it can mean either mouse mathematics or mouse cut. You know you can just kill them with your auto battle, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it automatically picks up items.
I did fully forget about that entire mechanic, yeah. Hey, chat, you like swords?
Rusty likes swords.
Ten. When he said 7, I was like, oh, surely that's enough.
There are a lot of people on Glacido Mountain. Big mountain. Now you only need 50 more. 49 more.
Kind of bummed Triple Axel got cut from the game. Because you know that move would have been sharp.
It would not have been. And technically, Triple Axel is in the game, just nothing can learn it. But you can call it with metronome.
Oh. Why do you think it wouldn't be sharp? Isn't it ice skates?
I think it is a callback to the ice skating move, but it's a kicking move.
Oh. Can a move only have one alignment? It can't be kicking and sharp?
Though I don't think kicking moves is a thing.
Punching moves is a thing.
Punching moves is a thing. Jaw moves are a thing, but I don't think there's an ability that buffs kicking. But according to the description, is a consecutive 3-kick attack that becomes more powerful with each successive hit.
So if it's in the data, we know it's not sharp.
That's correct.
Dang.
Rusty, what was your favorite snowboarding game growing up?
SSX Tricky.
I was a snowboard kids guy myself.
If they made another SSX game, it would be an instant buy for me. It's one of my favorite, not just my favorite snowboarding game, one of my favorite games growing up.
Did they have Superman by Goldfinger in it? Because I feel like, you can't have an extreme sports video game without Superman by Goldfinger.
The theme song was that song, It's Tricky by... oh, everybody knows this song. Run DMC. Run Devil May Cry.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm gonna hit some ice with some swords, guys.
Once again, Game Freak continuing the trend where they introduce late game ice gym leaders, only to get their absolute asses beat.
Yeah, it would be hard to deal with an ice gym leader at like first or second. Unless you started with your fire.
Maybe someday. But, you know, like, I'd even settle for, like, Gym 4, you know? I think the earliest they come is 6.
That's Price, right?
I think it's Melanie.
No, Price is 7.
I think Price is intended to be 7. Johto's
Yeah.
kind of one of those where you can do them in any order.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't even show up till the Elite Four.
Dark also likes to do that. Mm-hmm. There's only been one Dark gym.
Well, there was a Dark Alola challenge, which is
one of
like
the
a gym.
One of the Island Kahunas is a Dark gym. Is a Dark person, and then Piers. But that's Piers is the only gym that is a Dark.
Yep.
In the Pokemon World Tournament in Gen 5, they had a mode where you could battle specialists of each type. And because that game only had gym leaders from other regions, not Elite Four members, they just invented characters for the Dark type. Because there were no Dark gym leaders. And now, 4 generations later, they could only put one person there.
Resisted my fighting move. It didn't matter. Or not resisted, but...
it was neutral because it's bug type.
Yeah.
Bug and fighting are weird and they're mutually resisting. There's no other type combo that does that. Rusty, are you having fun chopping up ice cubes?
We're going to have to call this episode Legend of Grusha 4 Swords. I'm kind of proud of that one, actually.
Well, and like the kicker is, Altaria would actually be a pretty good answer to you.
Yeah, but you're making it weak to me.
I was gonna say, if it didn't change type.
Oh no, it's not very effective. What will I do?
Rusty here making an unforced error.
Making a like
unforced error.
Define unforced error. Like an error that I was not forced to make?
It's a chess term.
Yeah.
Where, like, you quote-unquote make a mistake. And I'm making the joke that you clicking on a not very effective move is you making a mistake.
Yes, you should give me your badge.
in the trivia section for Triple Axle, it says, even though Triple Axle is referred to as a consecutive 3-kick attack, Milotic, Frostlass, Cryogonal, the Poplio Evolutionary Line, and Frosmoth can all learn Triple Axle despite not having feet. Wow. Citadel is like the cutest thing.
It's one of those perfectly round early evolutions that evolves into a stupider looking thing.
Not a fan of Cititan?
No, I think it's fine. It's one of the least offensive of them. I get really bummed out by some of the round shape Pokemon. Like, even like Rowlet is obviously a perfect friend.
Yeah.
But its evolutions are kind of spiky and not as friend shaped. Like Meryl, perfect round sun evolves into perfect round sun, right?
I was gonna say, Azumarill's pretty round.
That's what I'm saying. That it looks cooler, better, stronger. It looks like an evolution, but it doesn't lose the thing that makes it cute and adorable.
Yeah.
Whereas Fuecoco, not as perfectly round to start with, but incredibly cute and endearing. Evolves into something that I don't want to say the design is bad. It just doesn't look like it's an evolution of that. It doesn't look like a Fuecoco anymore.
Yeah.
You go from a bipedal alligator, you kind of expect it to get taller and leaner and stronger, but it goes to quadrupedal and flat. It becomes Flat Fuck Friday.
Not that that's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad design. It's just I'm disappointed by it because it's like it changes so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if it was its own thing, I would like it a lot better. But because it evolves from Fuecoco, my favorite starter. So we got both of those gym leaders before an hour is done. I've only got to do the Titan.
Titan.
For today. That's my only goal today. So we're going to take some time and fight some more gym leaders and level up a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot to change to Gardevoir, didn't I? It's fine.
Maybe a little bit.
I can still give him the bonks. There hasn't been a Dragonite regional variant, has there?
Fun fact: if you look into the files of the game, Toadskool and Toadscruel,
We're supposed to be Gyarados.
Their names sort of indicate that there was a scrapped variant of Magikarp Gyarados.
Yeah. I said Dragonite, though.
Oh. I thought you said Gyarados.
No, we were looking at that Dragonair.
Maybe I just heard what I want to hear.
I said Dragonite, right?
I don't remember. And, God, there's no way to look it up on the internet. In that case, no. Dragonite is the one pseudo-legend that has just not been fucked with.
Right, it didn't get a Z move, didn't get a
no
variation.
Z-moves, Mega Evolutions,
didn't get a
Gigantamax
Mega.
form. No regional variants. They just... Why mess with perfection, I guess?
I think they know people will be pissed if they make a variation that's not blue.
Dabu D Dabu Die.
Well, because it's got to look like Dratini and Dragonair.
Well, I don't think it has to.
No, it certainly doesn't have to.
My guess is that they just haven't found a compelling design that they like. Whatever appeals to whoever's the game director's sensibilities.
Yeah. Every time I see a Florges, I'm like, is that shiny? It never is.
The thing that makes it shiny isn't the color of the flowers.
Oh, it's the leaves are like a slightly more tealish.
They're purple.
Oh.
And it is almost impossible to see on, like, Flabébé.
Oh, I know. I did some hunting for one. I think I did get it, but it was not the flower color that I wanted. And you can't change the flower color once you have it.
Nope.
Good news, guys, I did get to kill a Bruxish this stream.
I was just about to congratulate you for letting Bruxish come and go without making a comment on it. I know that took self-control, and you had to ruin it.
They're going to make a Bruxish pre-evolution and post-evolution that are cute and cool, respectively, and I'm going to have to deal with it.
I don't think Bruxish is ever going to be acknowledged by Game Freak ever again. They're going to forget about it like they've forgotten about Luminion. Thick fat is where it's at, baby!
It's true.
Me and Abe, man.
These sucker punching guys. Wish
They fight dirty.
Better. Wug Trio.
You like that low kicks in the background trying to force its way through a solid object?
It's going to know Sucker Punch. Oh.
I know Doug Trio gets Sucker Punch. I'm not sure if Wug Trio does. I would assume it. Fire spin.
That's just the move that I needed this late in the game. Fire spin did get buffed a little though, didn't it?
I think all trapping moves were buffed in like Gen 6. They do a little bit more residual damage, and they did make a couple items that boost them: the grip claw and the binding band.
Yeah.
But I don't think, with a few exceptions, any of them are particularly. Keytrin sometimes uses Magma Storm, obviously, but otherwise, you get like very niche sets like Thick Fat Azumarill running Whirlpool so that it can Perish Trap.
So, Chad, I am just wandering around looking for fights right now, and I'm not going to be doing it for too much longer.
You're like, he's named Max because it describes his level of volume.
I was going to suggest it describes his level of headroom. Dark Poison?
For Skuntank?
Yeah.
Yes.
Only
weak to ground.
I always forget what type it is.
Yes, it is immune to Psychic.
It's immune to Psychic. It's immune to Shadow Ball.
It is not immune to Shadow Ball. It resists Shadow.
Resists Moonblast too, doesn't it?
Moonblast will be neutral.
Oh. Well, I'll hit the window. Because it's like only level 30 or something. And I'm going to keep critting every move, even the ones that aren't being used by Gallade. Part normal Pokemon are cool.
Indeed.
Was that an Indeedee joke?
It wasn't intended to be one, but if I took credit, would you like call me out on it?
Yeah, probably not.
You're a pal, Rusty.
Why do they... In Pokemon games,
Yeah.
generally, when you open the menu, it goes Pokemon, bag, etc., right? Pokemon top
Usually
of the list.
Pokedex is generally on top of the list.
Okay.
But yeah, it's generally Pokedex, Pokemon. Remember, you can do like the minus thing where it just auto heals them. Kill Gardevoir! Kill him!
So, Go-Goat shiny form has like solid gold antlers. Cresting over this hill with the way the light was on the top
I have
of its
also
back,
been like hyper vigilant of shiny Pokemon like that.
I legit thought that there was a like just a horde of 6 or 7
Shiny.
of them just now.
I was gonna have you double check those low kicks too. They have that kind of goldenish tint to them because it's the sunrise. Or sunset, or whatever time of day it is. Espion. She just got done playing Pokemon Coliseum. She's got Umbreon and Espeon.
You're right. And they're in their... No, they're in their 30s, not their 50s. That would be a cool little Easter egg.
Well, the ones you start off with are like really weird, and like one of them's 25, one of them's 26.
Right, but if you had them at the level that...
Yeah.
Like, if you had them in the mid-upper 50s, like the level that you finished Coliseum at.
Yeah. It'd be funny.
I think you should be able to encounter previous game trainers in the world. Wandering. Like, you know how you've got the black text trainers that are like the strongest in a zone? You could have a wandering May or Red in the same
It'd be funny,
vein.
Easter egg.
What?
I almost feel like they're going to relegate any of that kind of like Easter egg to Pokemon Masters anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really unexplored avenue on this stream.
Que no los dos. Also, welcome.
So, if you hear eating noises, stream, no you don't.
Okay.
We could talk about black holes, and it would be the ultimate spaghettification. Because Gardevoir does that thing where she can make black holes.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they haven't given her a signature move or like one of the black hole themed legendary moves. Like Sacred Sword used to be legendary
Galio.
only.
Yeah, you can still do it.
You're thinking of Secret Sword.
Yeah, Sacred Sword was the one that all of the Musketeers had. Secret Sword is the one that is still only Keldeo, right?
I believe so. It is referenced in Gardevoir's moveset in Poké. It's like her super move is she creates a black hole.
Yeah, but if you had like Dimensional Rift or something, you know, one of those moves that's
God, we
psychic
had
type.
that game and I forgot it existed.
That's-
Spatial Ren.
Yeah, it's psychic
Have
type.
we ever
and
turned
it-
that game on?
I don't know. I know. I think Zach played it once.
I'm not sure we've ever booted it up.
I don't think I have.
I love Weavile's little Naruto run.
Sneasler is in the game, isn't it now?
It is now.
Did it fuck up competitive?
No.
It did get a little bit of usage in VGC at spamming Dire Claw, but that's kind of a niche set. I don't think it got particularly far in Worlds.
I don't think you did either.
Ghost doesn't make this immune to fighting, right?
Ghost is immune to fighting.
Mhm.
Oh shit.
You press your Psycho cut button and you're fine. Oh wait,
It does no second.
I know.
I just crit with Night Slash again. I haven't not crit with Night Slash tonight.
That's kind of what Night Slash do though.
If you get your friendship high enough, I think you'll get it to 100%.
Oh, then that's probably what's happening.
That's the arrow. Up.
All right. Let us...
So how's stream been?
Not bad. He beat up Tulip. He beat up Grusha.
Lost to Flower Trigger.
We did
again.
do another lost to Nimona.
I think you can lose every Nimona fight except the
For the
last
final
one.
one.
I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about Flower Trigger. There are some options. We talked about them already, but I gotta figure out which one I'm going to do.
I don't know. Get Iron Valiant. That's a pretty good answer to it. Wait, what type is Iron Valiant again?
Psychic Fairy.
Yeah, there you go.
Or not Psychic, Fairy Fighting.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah, it's the secondary type of both of them.
Yeah, it's the second type.
Yeah.
It was created to be the ultimate Psychic Pokemon, but isn't Psychic type. Hilariously.
Well, it's a Paradox Pokemon. It doesn't exist.
That's not what that means.
Sorry, it can't exist.
Again, that's not what that means.
What does Paradox mean?
It's when you have two 80s boots.
Piece of shit. Are you proud of yourself?
A little bit.
I was going for the meta commentary that paradoxes actually can't exist.
That's what I said, and you said no. That's not what that means.
You're right. Cool. We're I don't have
I wish this conversation was a paradox and that it didn't exist.
Me
Yeah.
too.
No, we're done with that conversation. Yeah. We're on the lake. Are you gonna go fight the false dragon titan?
I am.
It's either that or Airy at this point. Oh no, he's not doing any of the Starfalls now.
Yeah, I can't do Starfalls until I get a
you get a
third
third
Pokemon. What I'm going to do is farm up Herba Mystica off stream over the next week. And be ready with a bunch of shiny sandwiches.
And then we catch Iron Valiant.
To hunt down an Iron Valiant.
Oh, are we? Oh shit, are we gonna shiny hunt on stream?
Yeah, we're gonna be Shiny Hunter streamers now.
Yeah.
There was a meme going around for a while that was like, can a Shiny Hunter GF and a VGC BF really get along? And then it turns out at World they were disqualifying a bunch of people, so they were looking for Shiny Hunters to help people get legitimate Pokemon.
So after they got disqualified, could they re-qualify?
I mean, you have to get... I mean, not for that tournament.
That's what I'm saying.
But like, they heard that people were getting disqualified, so they're like, oh shit, I need to get these legitimate versions of my Genmons. So they're like, hey, Shiny Hunters, you want to help me out here?
Magic has also had some weird calls in competitive recently. Some weird judge calls. So in Magic, there's a thing called sideboarding. Games play best of 3, and you've got a 60-card deck and a sideboard of 10 cards. And after your first game, you can swap out with any cards in your sideboard into your deck. You can take, you see what your opponent has and say, okay, I think I've got some counters for that in my sideboard. But your sideboard is not unlimited. It's 10 cards. So you still kind of have to be aware of the meta
during game.
Right, you can't swap them during game. It also, in the rules, allows for wish mechanics in casual, but wish mechanics are banned in a tournament. But when you search out a card outside of the game, it's technically supposed to be in your sideboard. It's not just any card from wherever. Anyway, all that being said, what has happened is there was a judge call that the judges are saying, yes, this is technically correct, but shouldn't be. But there's a big conversation around it in Magic. But what's happened was a guy went to find a card in his deck. But had failed to reset his from sideboarding from the last game he had played, which you can't do. The deck that you submit for the tournament has to be the same. You can only sideboard second and third game, and you have to reset your deck. But he had failed to reset his deck, and the opponent called him on it. And apparently, within the rules, because the opponent had not noticed the failure to reset at the beginning of the match, because the opponent had not looked at his deck and said, check to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. They reset the deck mid-game and did not count it as an automatic game loss. But if the opponent had noticed that the deck hadn't been reset at the beginning, it would have been an automatic game loss.
Yeah.
It puts the onus on the player to check your opponent literally every match to say, let me look at your deck to see if I can force a game loss because you made a dumb mistake, instead of forcing a game loss when the player didn't follow the rules. And that's technically the way the judges in the community are like, yeah, this call was technically correct. It probably shouldn't be this way.
The rules is written versus...
Yeah.
Right. It's stupid, but it's correct.
Which means that there's probably very soon going to be a rule change.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do if you want to grind, Rusty, is kind of go up to that automy area.
Yeah, that's a really good
what?
grind spot.
That kind of automy area.
Oh,
you
yeah,
open
yeah. No, I know what you're doing. I'm not trying to grind right now. I'm at a level to fight the thing, aren't I?
I think it's 54. What it is.
Oh, maybe I'm not ready yet. Not quite ready.
Rototo.
Oh, look, we started talking about magic and Adam showed up.
I was gonna say that, just as somebody who is in a lot of has fingers in a lot of competitive pots, that feels like an error on the judge.
So here's the thing, it is it is putting too much work on the judges who are not paid by Wizards of the Coast. I mean, it should be, if you don't follow the rules, if you've got an illegal deck, it should be a game loss.
Absolutely.
That's what it should be. If you don't reset after a sideboard properly, that should be a game loss.
Rusty just ignoring the, hey, did you know NPC?
I am. I got laser focused on to getting to this tower before I flew away from it, so that I'd have the fly point. And then
Not the wrong decision.
And then we were also talking about magic while I was on that laser focus, so I'm like, I'm not doing trader battles. What are we talking about? Even though I am trying to level up, there's only so many things I can do at once. Come on.
Rusty, you're facing the wrong direction.
There you go. Yeah, you should have backwards legend it. BLJ.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
BLJ.
That's what I was trying to do.
I love that Rusty doesn't know what we're referencing. I love that.
I absolutely know what backwards ledge jumping or backwards ledge hopping is. It's how you sequence break in the game. Before you get the high jump and the
It's the name. The BLJ name is a reference to backwards long jumping from Super Mario.
Oh, okay.
No, there's they found a weird edge case with how the rules are written, and it's gonna be a big thing for a little while, and then they're gonna write the rules.
I can feel the subreddit energy just bursting from it.
Yeah.
You are potentially playing suboptimally, but it also allows you to, like, if you know your opponent, it allows you to not play against the meta game. It allows you to play against your opponent.
Yeah.
Early on. You don't have to set your deck, as long as your sideboard can fight your opponent, you don't have to set your deck against the whole meta game. You can set your deck against a single opponent every time. Your first deck doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, if pre-match sideboarding was allowed, it would delete this whole issue. Or if failing to reset your deck, he had an illegal deck. I don't understand the edge. Like, I don't understand the rule that makes this the way it does. I don't know what the rule is. But it's a bad rule because it's an illegal deck.
So I think.
So let me tell you a story that's a lot more fun to illustrate what I'm talking about. The card, what is it? The Chaos Orb. That's like you have to hold it 2 feet above the table and drop it, and it has to flip 2 times. And when it hits the table, it destroys anything that it's touching when it hits the table. Cool card, really fun, banned in competitive. But it didn't used to be. And there's an old legend about a guy that was playing competitively, and they actually made a card about this old legend story. They made another card referencing it later. But what this guy did was he was in a tournament, and he pulled out the Chaos Orb, and was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I can win the game if I destroy a bunch of his creatures, but I have to make sure that I destroy a bunch of his creatures so I can get the damage through. So he tears the card up and throws it all over his opponent's side of the board, 1 billion pieces. And so that's the legend, is that he did that and then he won the game. But that's not what happened. He lost that game not because he tore up the card, but he comes... his opponent calls judges over and is like, he surely can't do this. And the judges are like, well, hold on. So they walk away and like call a bunch of other judges over, explain what's going on, and they have a little conference. And the judges at that tournament decided that he had a 59 card deck and lost to having an illegal deck. As soon as he destroyed that card, it's no longer the play that he made was a legal play. Destroying the card and throwing it over the table is a legal play. But because he had a 60-card deck and destroyed one of them, that card cannot be shuffled back into the deck. It's not a 60-card deck anymore. It's a 59-card deck, which is illegal. That's a game loss. You see what I'm saying? If you've got an illegal deck, you lose the game. Even if this is a lot more fun story. But he broke the rules. He did not have a legal deck. That is a game loss. That's how I feel about the. That's how I feel about the.
So I'm again just as I don't know the rule. Don't know why they came to that. But been in a lot of competitive. Been in and around a lot of competitive things. Seen a lot of rule action. Odd rulings take place. And so I would assume that the reason that they made that choice was because the rule that whatever stated had very specific wording that they couldn't get around. I assume it would be something that says at the beginning of the game, if the player notices blink, and that at the beginning of the game or whatever wording it is, I would assume that is why they're like, well, technically, because it was not noticed until later. But I also don't know how magic rules supersede each other or if they can.
Yeah.
Because in other competitive events, there are rules that can supersede.
Oh yeah,
So-
there's layers in Magic too.
Yeah, and I assume that. So I would have assumed that having an illegal deck at all, no matter when notice, should have superseded that. But if that's not how the rule structure works, then I mean, I guess. But I would have assumed that there is a rule somewhere that says if the player has an illegal deck, the game is forfeited or as a loss. But if that specific, because of the specific verbiage of the other rule, and if that one doesn't doesn't have the layer over it, they can't succeed it.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that. Yeah. Again, don't know Magic rules, but I would have assumed that if a player has an illegal deck, that should supersede almost anything.
Right.
But I don't know how Magic rules work, and I'm not gonna dive into it because that is
I don't have time for that.
yeah. I don't have time for the stuff I do know.
I love that story about Chaos Sword though.
So you have to have no more or less than 60 cards. It has to be 60 cards.
You have to have at least 60 cards.
At least. Okay. So you can go over that.
So they allow for the confetti orb as long as he had an extra card in his deck?
They would have allowed him to confetti his card if he had an extra card, yes.
That's funny.
Yeah, you can have more than the limit. They don't want you having less than 60 because it reduces variance.
Yeah.
There's an amount of the game
Yeah.
that is supposed to be determined by luck. Otherwise,
I know.
I could have a deck that is exactly 7 cards, draw the 7 cards that I want in my opening hand, and have the perfect opening 7-card hand every time, and win by turn 3 every time because I've got the perfect setup for it.
Yeah.
I remember that from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I think the minimum is like 40.
Tail? Gee.
You deck out if it goes to turn 2. But, Adam, give me a 7-card hand, and I can give you
Yeah, if every card he
tons
drew
of
was
infinite
just,
combos that you can do turn 1.
if every card he drew was Exodia.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to get to turn 2 if I've got a perfect hand at the time. I can win turn 1. I'm going to do this later. I'm gonna find
A combo.
give me a number that's less than 10, and I'll give you that many combos that you can pull off turn 1. And I'll go find them, and it'll be done tonight.
Like Rusty Nose.
No, that's Rusty and that's Nose.
Definitely not in like standard. Standard is a little more restricted, but in like legacy. Commander.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to change to my fairy type. It's okay.
well, that's okay because he's pure water.
You're right. He is right now, isn't he?
Yep.
Blade.
Look, you fucked him up.
I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah,
I
I thought
did
he'd hit the damage threshold.
You must have been like,
That much
Yeah,
off.
you were not far off.
well, this
Dozo
shit, I'm
thick.
out.
Dozo thick. Adam, did you want me to catch him 4 shiny Pokemon? Because that's a big ask.
It took him like 6 months to get the 2.
I think I spent most of a year on it.
And very ironically, the one that was male and the one that was female were like perfect for the other.
We've talked about this on
yeah.
stream. We've got clips, but
Yeah.
in fact, I caught one at Rusty, the school Rusty used to work at.
Yeah.
I literally saw him that day.
I had to fix their stats because the female was very physically aligned and the male was very specially aligned.
Yeah.
There was an item right there.
It was. It just disappeared into the nether. It's gonna eat him! Then it's gonna eat me! Oh my god!
Moving, buddy. Damn, Arvin, you were moving there.
Maybe. Just maybe. He was
Moving.
The sh stands for chef.
Commander doesn't change types, does it?
Nope. It's just a +1 to every stat.
And Dondoso has a lot of stat. So
It does have a lot of stat.
A +1 to all of stat is a lot.
But yes, it is always the I think that is no, that's not curly. It's the yellow is stretchy, orange is curly, I think pink is droopy. But yes, it's always the pink one.
Yeah.
And thankfully, crits cut through stat boost.
They do.
As a matter of fact, when the commander combo was like really good in VGC, people were using Meowscarada because of auto crits and got through it.
Yep. Flowered it. You've done it. What? Time to fight me, the real Titan.
Yeah, the real false Titan.
So tempting to just fuck up this weasel.
That is absolutely not a weasel.
Boost my crit chance. Oh. Galade's first non-crit of the night.
Well, I was gonna say there was a crit. There's a crit from Squirrel.
Oh no, I can only use offensive moves. Anyway.
Rusty, never click a status move, Manfang.
That's
Hey.
not true.
Hey, there's an aggressive one on the stream, but it's not him.
I would argue that some status moves are very aggressive. Hi, my name is Swords Dance. Let me end this game.
Now they've been sitting in the water a long time. They gotta go change their socks. I mean, Arvin might be good. I didn't see quite how far the water was going up, but no matter how waterproof your boots say they are, if they get above the top, it's over. Not necessarily thinking of trench foot, but yeah, you could technically get trench foot.
No, that is a valid concern.
No, it is.
You definitely don't want trench foot.
No. I remember Walter White. Dress Cobrastryke, we gotta go cook.
Hey, boomers, remember World War? That's the tagline for World War II.
Are we ready for the saddest fucking cutscene in the game?
Yeah, we can see Arvin's dead dog.
The look how hard I can cry cutscene. Crydon's just like, oh, you got me another snack, and he eats him.
Nathan, he wouldn't eat him. He can tell he's sick. Pokemon was like, hey, what if we just make the saddest sad boy ever?
I think it's a flavor
His
fail.
parents abandoned him. His dog is dead.
I think it's a flavor fail that Mabostiff is strong when you fight Arvin.
That's just the power of the urban.
Nah, it should have been like level 10. Come on, Mabostiff. I believe you can do it with the power of love. I know that you've been sick for 6 years, and we're just now finally getting you better.
Well, so actually, flavor-wise, it kind of works because he was in, he's been in Area Zero before, and so
Gotta be tough.
So having a really strong Pokemon that took a hit from a legendary Pokemon and survived. But
Why?
aw. It'd be really cute if when you fought Arvin, the boss was nicknamed Bud. In my head, that's.
I'm gonna say you can think that it just doesn't display nicknames because Poppy, all of her Pokemon are nicknamed. She tells you them.
Man, it's time for this robotic conversation.
Damn.
Feels like it's almost like talking binary, ones and zeros.
I'm so glad they had a shiny Gallade themed case for my phone.
Rusty says after he sees anything blue.
Sees the color blue. Getting real shiny Gallade vibes from this.
I mean, look at Arvin's puffy vest that you can't have because it's orange for you in game.
Well, and it's like you see the color pink, you're like, oh man, Vaporwave, am I right?
No, but seriously, why can't I wear exactly Arvin's outfit?
So that they can sell it to you later as DLC.
Oof.
That's what they did with Marnie.
You're right. They released the game. All right, which one do they get horny for? Joke is Pokemon. That is legally the end of the joke.
Well, you know what that means is they're gonna sell us Larry's outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd buy it.
and Rika's.
I was gonna say, All of the queers love
Well,
them, Rika.
That is what they did in Sword and Shield. Is if you're a girl.
You cut out there just a second. You may be gone altogether. Chat, we may have just lost Nathan in the end. So, what do we do for the last 20 minutes of stream?
You can still hear him.
Oh, I heard you just then. Say words again. Shiny hunt for a Ralts. Nathan spent half a year finding these two, and I go find one on stream. I am going to shiny hunt for a
Hey.
There we go. They're back.
Are we back?
No, that's what I was saying. An Iron Valiant next week. That's what I'm going to do first thing. Next week.
Can you actually hear us?
Yes, I can actually hear you.
Okay.
Well done. Which, by the way, good job beating the Titan.
Yeah. So what were you saying? I said that Rika's outfit, and you said that's what they did in Sword and Shield. All of the...
Yeah.
If you're a girl, you... and then cut off.
Yeah, if you're a girl, you get Marnie's outfit. If you're a boy, you get Rose's outfit. So that may be what they do, is if you're a girl, you get Rika's outfit, and if you're a boy, you get Larry's outfit.
Okay.
Adam, I already hunted him, Shiny Ralts.
Could we...
Would you be leisurely in that Larry suit?
God, I was frames away from making the joke.
If they named it something like Leisurely Suit... it'd be very
Doesn't Nintendo have...
No, Leisure Suit Larry is a Sierra.
Okay.
Who owns Sierra right now, though?
They may...
I don't know if
not
anybody
be-
owns
They
them.
may not be owned. They may just...
I know they did the King's Quest revival a couple years back.
Yeah, so is Sierra still on their own? There's not many companies that are that old that still own themselves. Okay, Nathan, would you put up a poll? The question is Rusty going to run into a third shiny Fortress at full odds?
I don't get a very long names for prediction.
You have 45 characters.
Because I am weirdly good at finding shiny Fortress in this fall zone up here.
I'll set it for 5 minutes.
Can't happen a third time.
I did briefly pull up the article for Sierra Games, and it was written in past tense, so I'm assuming it's gone.
Defunct 2008, 15. So, yeah.
Acquired by
Activision.
Vivendi, and now it's part of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
For just a second, that turtle.
That one of them looked a little green.
Yeah.
It's not easy being. But Rusty can climb now. He can go anywhere, do anything, be who he wants to be.
Speckled wants to be in him.
Gross.
It's like crunchy.
Hi.
A bag of
I'm-
experience!
I'm your EXP punching bag.
Pop!
EXP candy just comes spilling out like a pinata.
Very blue. God, I love Studo in this game.
Dude, there was a pseudo-widow around there? I just saw trees.
I've got better eyes. Which is patently false.
Oh, look at the happy little sauce.
My favorite part about Tinkaton and its shiny is that the hammer is Corviknight's shiny color.
Yep.
Get him. That would have been like nearly 3,000. That was not shiny.
Give it time.
Hey, Rusty,
Hey, what?
can you...
We're kind of roboting. Could you resend us Discord or
Yeah.
stream?
Yeah,
Yes.
audio getting a little lucky. What? Neat. Okay, you can't specifically look for it. Just gotta happen into it.
Are you worried it's gonna happen?
A little bit.
I did not realize that they were this common.
They should. That's part of the reason they're kind of easy to find. It's part of the reason that I ran into two of them. They make it hard to hunt Toad School up here. Because they have so many zones that they can spawn in that Toad School can't.
So it's
Even if you've got sandwiches.
right?
So, cracked is the phony, chipped is the authentic.
Okay.
And once you've gotten all of the ones in the game, which there are like, I think, 3 total across both types, then the only way to get them is to luck into them at the auction. Is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, looking into any one specific thing at the auction. Hard to do.
They just need to be like every other evolutionary stone purchasable somewhere.
I understand you calling it an evolutionary stone, but I hate it. You're not wrong.
It's what it is in everything but name.
No, you're not wrong. I just kind of hate it. My brain's like, he's technically correct. Boy, howdy, do I not like it. Somebody dropped a soda pop. Also, if you find a soda pop in the forest, how that was?
That was a little generous, I'd say.
But yeah, if you find a soda pop on the ground in the forest, probably don't drink it.
Rusty's not going to drink it. He's going to feed it to his Pokemon.
Yeah, don't feed it to your dogs either.
I'm really bummed that Mycelium Might is an ability that exists.
Makes Toad School, which would be a stick-ass Pokemon.
Bad.
Bad.
It's a strict downgrade.
Hey, it counters Golden Go.
Does it?
Checks Golden Go.
Does it?
It checks Golden Go.
Does it?
It can spore through good as gold, and it hit it with super effective ground.
Does it?
I said can, not will.
Spite Ups might have the best shiny, the best new shiny in this game.
You were just singing the praises.
I like it. I can like both of them.
The praises of what?
Tinkaton.
Ah.
Sue me, I like Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man. Which is why I want you to bring me pictures of Spider-Man!
Is there a better person to play Triple J other than J.K. Simmons?
Me.
No, you're not better than J.K. Simmons. Sorry. You have a
And
decent
here-
impression of J.K. Simmons' version of the character.
And here I was pinning all of my hopes on that one thing.
It's like how all of the good Jokers are doing an impression of Mark Hamill's Joker.
You could argue that Heath Ledger was a good Joker without being based on...
No, you're right. Heath Ledger had a different take on it. But you know what I
Right.
mean.
Hey, Jared Leto had a take on it.
Yeah, but even that
I
still
said
feels like...
the good impressions of Joker.
And even Jared Leto feels like a discount Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix kind of feels like it's sort of, I would say, inspired by...
I haven't seen the Walking.
I haven't seen the movie, but like...
It's not even the Joker.
I know it's not a bad movie, but just like the reaction around it, I just
The
can't.
people that liked it for
Yeah.
the reasons that they liked it.
Yeah, I can't quite bring myself.
It's not the movie's fault. It still sucks.
Yeah, it's hard for me to divorce those facts.
Badger, 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 badger.
Our Discord is being really stupid, right?
Yeah, it's kind of being fucked.
Can you still hear us right now, Rusty?
Yeah.
Okay. It keeps dropping voice
Oh,
quality.
hey, hold on. We got Shroomish family. We got Toad School family. What other mushroom Pokemon?
The Amoongus.
Amoongus.
The Amoongus family, which is in the game. The Paris family, which is not. And then more little Shinoda, Jerome.
That's 5 families. That's almost.
I
a
think
team.
it's every odd number generation has introduced a Amoongus.
That I played a video game with a lot of mushrooms. Baldur's Gate.
Guy who's only played Baldur's Gate, getting big Baldur's Gate vibes from this.
I've put too many hours into Baldur's Gate already. Also, speaking of a mushroom user, there's a whole like. Never mind, I'm not. It'll be spoilers for our thing.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
And there's some cool shit happening.
Okay, we're coming up on the end of my chance to find a shiny Fortress.
Oh no!
shit. That tree tried to run me off the road.
I need him at free safety.
I could not figure out what that was from behind.
It did look like just a walking piece of wood.
Put Sudowoodo 15 yards off the ball. Don't let him get past it.
Football will be back soon, yeah.
It's starting Saturday.
Oh, hey,
Solid football.
Cage called up a sports fact, and we had to kind of make one up.
What did you make up?
I mentioned that Pokemon, the first movie, referenced. So,
Yes, that's very good.
thank you.
The dub, the
Yeah, it's
the
not
American
an
dub.
original.
Yes,
It would
That
be
is a
very
Japanese.
funny if that was original quote from in native Japanese.
I vaguely remember hearing a story that Veronica Taylor that was her riffing, and they decided to put it in. I don't know.
One of the
College?
ones that I found was straight up in a tree, and I had to like get it.
Every so often, like if you actually go back and watch the Gen 1 anime, they have some like moments like that.
well, like, and there are like normal ass fish that they eat, and like there are scenes.
Well, that was back in the days where you could reference the real world in Pokemon.
Yeah.
And not just be like a sly like nod, and you could actually like mention things.
Like there were scenes
See,
with
look at all these
with-
guys.
yeah, there were scenes with like normal fish swimming in the ocean alongside Pokemon.
All right, well, I think we can go ahead and cut this a little early.
We're back next time with Rusty's shiny hunting stream.
Yes,
Week
next
will be-
week I will be hunting shiny. A shiny Iron Valiant, in fact. It'll be my third member for this game.
Yeah.
And then we will maybe
Start.
try to do all of the star bases all at once.
Just speed run the star bases,
yeah, and once
And
I have
then,
three, once I have 3 mons.
and then be into post game. So probably only like 2 or 3 more episodes.
I can't imagine it being 3 more episodes. I think it's 2.
It depends
Although
on
the
how.
post game is kind of long, isn't it? It's a bit. There's like a lot of cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it also kind of depends on how long the shiny hunting takes.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the thing is-
that shouldn't be super long with shiny sandwiches. Oh,
Hopefully.
I guess it can kind of. I've still in Violet. I've still got the ribbon, the shiny ribbon. So
The
I've got
Shiny charm.
the charm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've got a decent chance of getting stuff
Cool.
once you throw a sandwich in there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so,
that's gonna do it for tonight.
Remember, join us back. Yeah, on Friday.
Yeah, Friday we've got
Monster
Monster Hunter, and Sunday we're slowly making our way through Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
We actually finished
Finish the Goblin King.
chapter 1, didn't we?
No. Act one also is all of the Underdark stuff.
No, that's Act 2.
No, Act 1.
Act 1 ends
is-
at that party.
It does not. We got the achievement for Act 1 way into the Underdark.
Okay.
Well, whenever you're getting it, we're gonna get it next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
So
right.
bye.
Bye.
Boah.